The Paul Skeens debut patch is for sale and already setting records. Topps now released maybe one of their coolest cards ever. Select football designs are out and we get to yay or nay them. And there's a whole lot of player movement in the NFL that could affect their card prices going forward. Welcome back into the Hollywood Rip studio for this week's episode of the Hobby Headquarters. As you can see, we are flying solo once again this week. I'm Mr. Hollywood. Thanks for tuning in once again. And we start this week's news off with very large ongoing auctions. And I am talking about predominantly the Paul Skeens debut patch, which hit the auction block with Fanatics Collect over the past week. And it did nearly $250,000 in the first 30 minutes or first hour, something like that. It is crazy. It is now sitting at $550,000 with over a week still to go on this one. It'll be the most expensive modern pitcher card sale ever. Of course, it has a ways to go to be the most expensive pitcher sale ever, which would probably be Babe Ruth's 1914 Baltimore News card, which did $7.2 million in 2023. So it probably won't be the most expensive pitcher card ever, but in terms of modern pitcher card, yeah, this one is going to probably obliterate everything else. Victor Wembanyama, his National Treasures Logo Man 1 of 1, is also in the premier Fanatics Collect auction, and that is currently sitting at $180,000. Jackson Holliday's debut patch is also part of that auction. It is sitting at $50,000. A 2016 Juan Soto Bowman Chrome first prospect autograph red refractor numbered to just 5 in a PSA 9 is currently sitting at $75,000. A Shohei Ohtani 2018 this time Bowman Chrome gold autograph numbered to 50 in a perfect PSA 1010 is sitting at $80,000. What else is selling right now? A 1986 Fleer Jordan PSA 10 sitting at $150,000. That is approaching what they are currently comping at or what the last one has sold for. I think the last one sold for $175,000 or $180,000, something like that. A 1980, how about this one? 1980 Magic Johnson Larry Bird rookie card, that tri-perforated card with Julius Erving. The PSA 10 is currently for auction sitting at $170,000. And Luka Doncic, last one we're going to go over here. How about a rookie National Treasures RPA numbered to 10 in a PSA 9, currently sitting at $75,000. I think a lot of these cards are actually going to end up doing way, way more than they're currently sitting at. We'll see if the Skeens debut patch can hit $1 million. Man, I don't even know what to say. If it hits $1 million, I would be absolutely shocked. If it hits $1 million, I mean, I'm shocked that it's over $550,000 as it is. It's a pitcher after all, and one that throws 100 miles an hour. This ligament doesn't tend to do very well when you throw that hard. But moving on to story number 2, and that is Topps Now, because Topps Now has released probably one of their best cards to date. And this is the commemorative card of course, LeBron James and his 50,000 points. LeBron has now scored 50,000 points between regular season and playoff games combined. And Topps Now has released this inscription card. It will have a 50,000 points inscription and be autographed by LeBron James. And they got his game-used arm sleeve from that game from Nike. And they're cutting out the Nike swoosh from that arm sleeve and inserting it as a game-used relic into this card. So in my opinion, this is the next step. This is a great step for Topps Now. We have now taken game-used relics and put them in. I think that's absolutely awesome. That makes this, in my opinion, one of the cooler Topps Now chases that they've ever had. But there's always a but, right? You guys always know my but with Topps Now. It's $12. $15 with shipping and tax for your one base card, which you have a 99.998% chance of getting, right? There's no value in that, realistically speaking. I think this is, look, I think the world of this card. I think it's a really, really cool card. It's unfortunate LeBron's out for a couple weeks here, but with that groin strain. But it's interesting because the timing of this card being delivered, when it actually gets pulled and delivered, the timing could be a perfect storm for a record-setting LeBron sale, assuming the Lakers do make the playoffs, which they are currently in the 2 slot in the Western Conference. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Lakers will probably make the playoffs. And let's say this card gets redeemed in 2 months' time or 6 weeks' time and arrives just in time for the playoffs. I think we could see one of the most expensive LeBron cards ever to sell at auction with this one. What else has Topps now released recently? They announced this WWE card of The Rock, John Cena, and Travis Scott. This is a triple autograph 1 of 1. I guess it's cool, but there's really, I don't know. I'm not a wrestling fan, so maybe some of you guys can correct me on this, but like, isn't this just I don't know if there's any achievement here, right? It's just kind of like a celebrity autograph of these 3 guys. How I justify not wanting this is WWE can really hire anyone and script anyone to do any of this stuff, right? Like, they choose what happens. So for me, this one's kind of a pass because it's essentially made, right? It's not like LeBron scoring 50,000 points or Shohei Ohtani going 50-50. Speaking of which, Shohei Ohtani's Topps Now 40-40 Club inscription card, not the 50-50 card, the 40-40 card, which in my opinion looks way better than the 50-50 card because the autograph on the 50-50 card is atrocious. It looks like it's been half rubbed off by a alcohol swab or something. But that card, that 40-40 card, is now officially a BGS Black Label 1010. So if it's me, which one would I rather have between the 40-40 card and the 50-50 card? For sure, I'd rather have the 50-50 card. I mean, let's be honest, right? Why have 40-40 when you can have 50-50? But I will say the 40-40 card looks way better. And the fact that it's now a BGS Black Label 10, yeah, give me that for sure. Speaking of Shohei Ohtani, that Dynasty Black Logo Man, 50-50 1 of 1, that is officially for auction with Heritage Auctions now. The dual game-used gloves one did 175 or something, 175,000. This one is sitting at 140,000 right now with 18 days to go. It's going to do way more than that last one did. But moving on to Select Football, we do have a preview for Panini Select Football release this coming year. The set looks pretty sharp, if I'm being honest. I think the parallels are going to look really nice on this one. I think it's has a little bit of a similarity with Prism. I will say this. I don't like this year's Zebras. I really don't like this year's Zebras. I'm not going to put it, I don't need to put it prettier than that. I really do not like the Zebras. They look, I don't know, for whatever reason, they just look really tacky to me this year. This design is kind of just, it kind of looks like a 4th grader put this together on Kid Picks. I don't know, that's just me. Not really sure what's going on with the watercolors either. I feel like they could have been more creative with that one. But overall, I think the designs have been pretty good. But the big caveat, with Panini this year, is I really hope that the quality control of these things improves, because Panini's products have had absolutely atrocious quality control recently. Like, I don't know what's going, like, are they paying less attention, losing the licenses soon? I don't know. But gemming a modern card out of Prism at this point feels kind of like hitting a 4-foot putt for par, like a lag putt that has a little bit of break, right? Like, as if a 2-foot putt wasn't already hard enough. Now we got to hit like a 4-foot putt with this type of quality control, right? Moving on, player movement, because this affects value of players in the hobby. These are the players who have been moved or signed, been re-signed, or been traded to other teams that could affect their card prices going forward, starting with, of course, Josh Allen. This is mostly NFL. He signed a 6-year, $330 million deal with $250 million guaranteed. It is the highest guarantee in NFL history. In my opinion, his market is still a little too high coming off of that MVP season, IMO right now. Although he did just get a little bit of help in Josh Palmer, who signed with the Bills for 3 years and $36 million. Of course, he used to be the receiver for the Chargers. It's an upgrade, I guess, but in my opinion, not enough. I think the Bills needed to swing a little bigger, honestly, on the offensive side of the ball to give Josh Allen a little more help. Who do I mean by that? Well, they probably should have gone out and gotten maybe Davante Adams instead, who is signing with the Rams instead on a 2-year deal to presumably replace Cooper Kupp in that offense. Matt Stafford is still in tow, and I think the Rams are quietly still one of the best teams in the NFL. I could see them having a really big year next year. News came out today, I think, that the Rams said if they can't find a trade partner for Cooper Kupp, that they're just going to release him. So Cooper Kupp will not be on the Rams, and it will be Puka Nacua and Davante Adams with Matt Stafford and that offensive line and that defense and Sean McVay, as well as, I don't know why I'm blanking on the running back's name right now, Kyron Williams, right? I mean, the Rams could be real scary heading into next year. Justin Fields, he is changing teams again. He is headed to New York. He's headed to the Jets on a 2-year, $40 million deal from the Steelers. He's leaving the Steelers, going to the Jets. I think this one is actually interesting. Justin Fields' prices have been way, way down, obviously. He hasn't really been a success in the NFL since he came in, and he had a lot of hype coming in. And this is essentially going to be Justin Fields' last chance as a starter in the NFL at a young age, right? Youth drives value in the hobby a lot of times. So I think it's one to keep an eye on. He's going to have Garrett Wilson still and Breece Hall. So if there's a time to fulfill his destiny, it's got to be now or never for Justin Fields. DK Metcalf has also been moved, and he is going to the Steelers. A lot of people are like leaving one team and then the team's replacing them with someone else, right? So Justin Fields goes from the Steelers to the Jets, and DK Metcalf goes from the Seahawks to the Steelers and subsequently signed a 5-year, $150 million extension. Does this give Russell Wilson the offensive help that they need? Honestly, who knows? I don't think so, because George Pickens is kind of already a WR1, I would say. So I'm not sure that receiver is really the problem here. But anyways, Sam Darnold. We just keep moving along. I said DK Metcalf is going from the Seahawks to the Steelers. Well, the Seahawks are getting Sam Darnold now to replace Geno Smith. 3 years, $100 million for Sam Darnold. I do not like Darnold going forward, honestly, in Seattle. They just traded probably their best offensive player in DK Metcalf. But this officially means that the J.J. McCarthy era has probably arrived in Minnesota, barring any sort of big acquisition for them. And that is bigger news than Darnold to the Hawks, in my opinion, because that means J.J. McCarthy cards will command serious value over this offseason, and they will probably steadily tick up over the offseason and into the preseason. And of course, as I say, Sam Darnold is now the new quarterback for the Seahawks. It is because Geno Smith, of course, was traded to the Raiders last week, or maybe it was the week before, and reunited with Pete Carroll. I like the commitment from Oakland, honestly, on this one. I'm not a huge fan of Geno, but I'm a fan of Pete Carroll. I think he's very good at what he does. I could see the Raiders starting to push their way up that division. So those are the main movements that are going on in the NFL. Of course, we do have some movements in other sports. LeBron James is out for 1 to 2 weeks with that pulled groin, for example. although I don't think that would necessarily affect LeBron's cards at all. The ones I'd be more concerned with are news like Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole is going to have Tommy John surgery. He's going to miss the entire season. That is a massive impact on the New York Yankees, and I mean massive impact on the New York Yankees. Should they sign someone like Trevor Bauer for $0? No. I still wouldn't be going out there and signing Trevor Bauer. He's a distraction. Let's be honest. It's those types of injuries that have more long-term value. And they affect not just the player, right? Garrett Cole is affected by this, obviously. But Garrett Cole, this affects how good the Yankees are in general, right? They rely a lot on Garrett Cole. And if Garrett Cole is not healthy, that is a real tough AL East. I'm not kidding. That is going to be probably one of the toughest divisions in all of baseball this year. But got to move on to our last section of Hobby Headquarters for this week, and that is Golden Record sales. We're going to list off a bunch of them for you. I'll say which one I think is the most impressive. You can choose what you think is the most impressive. But how about a 2009-2010 Steph Curry Logo Man rookie card in a BGS 9.5? That did $196,000. A 2019 Flawless Tom Brady Patrick Mahomes dual autograph numbered to 2 PSA Authentic in an autograph grade of 9 did $123,000. 2022 Prism Choice Luka Doncic Nebula 1 of 1 in a PSA 10 did $81,740. Jaden Daniels, biggest card so far. Well, biggest Kaboom card so far, right? Well, actually, no. His green Kaboom's bigger, obviously. But his biggest gold Kaboom sale, and it is his jersey match, number 5 out of 10 in a PSA 10, has officially sold for $62,220. That sounds a lot better than buying like a Mac Jones rookie 1 of 1 for 120 grand, which someone did, and then ended up losing like 119 grand of that. But how about a 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle? One of these seems to always sell every week in a PSA 2. This one did $58,560. There's great eye appeal on this example as well. Eye appeal is really something that is hard to put value on when it comes to vintage cards. And unless you look at a lot of these, you don't really start to understand eye appeal and how it relates with the grade. The grade, it's not always about the grade. Not all PSA 2s are the same PSA 2s, right? You can have a PSA 2 that's super off center, right? And you can also have a PSA 2 that's perfectly on center. These things happen. And so this one, very, very good eye appeal. That's why this, as a PSA 2, sold for more than a PSA 2 would normally sell for. But 1933, Gaudy Babe Ruth, PSA Excellent 5, did $53,229. This one was probably the most surprising to me. A 2004-05 Dennis Rodman signed finals relic out of Exquisite in a BGS 810 autograph did $53,000. Whew, someone just paid 53 grand for a Dennis Rodman finals relic. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. How about a 2016 Flawless Cristiano Ronaldo Emerald autograph numbered to 5 in a PSA 810? That did $52,461. I feel a little bit better about that than Dennis Rodman for essentially the same price. And I still don't feel that strongly about that Cristiano Ronaldo going for $52,000. So that just tells you where I feel about the Dennis Rodman one. How about a 2024 Panini Prism Gold vinyl of Jaden Daniels rookie card in a BGS 9? That did 50 grand. And 2 more for you, maybe 3 more. Tiger Woods, 2013 Game Used Exquisite rookie patch numbered to 25. PSA 910 autograph, $48,000. I'm not sure, why is that a rookie card if it came out in 2013? Maybe someone can write that in the comments below. I feel like Tiger Woods went pro way before 2013. Or maybe they just numbered it wrong. Maybe it's supposed to say 2003. I don't know. How about a 1954 Hank Aaron Topps rookie card in a PSA 8? $44,000. I think that one's well worth it. Beautiful card. Absolutely beautiful. 1961 Wilt Chamberlain Fleer rookie card in a PSA 8 did $40,000. That was the same one found in the grocery store closet that sold for almost $2 million in a PSA 10 like 6 months ago, something like that. One more, 2024, Jack Caglione. His first Bowman auto in a black refractor numbered to 10 in a PSA 1010 did $28,633. Dennis Rodman is for sure headlining this list for me as being a pretty crazy sale, along with Cristiano Ronaldo paying 50 grand for a Cristiano Ronaldo autograph number to 5. I get it's on card, but that's, to me, not my cup of tea. I'm also not a soccer fan, so, you know, to each their own. But that'll wrap things up for this week's episode of the Hobby Headquarters. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel down below. And leave us a comment with what your most surprising sale of the week was. We do typically respond to comments. So until next time, I'm Mr. Hollywood, and I'll see you tomorrow at Hot in the Hobby. Mr. Hollywood, out.